107.5 WGCI, Kendra G from LA. And while I was here, I reached out to a young lady that I saw. Well, we all know her, but I reached out to her on Instagram. I DM'd her. I said, listen, I'm going to be in LA this weekend. I would love to have a conversation with you. And she replied, and I'm talking about the one and only Moniece from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood.
Yeah.
So listen, I hit you up on Instagram because I'm a person, I'm heavily on Instagram. Mm-hmm. I don't watch all the reality shows in depth, but I know a lot of you more so from my Instagram watching you, right? You know, like you're like one of my Instagram favorites to watch. But you had a video this week about your son. And you were saying how he failed the third grade and he has some issues with the dentist.
I had texted his dad like 4 months ago, and I said, hey, Cam's grinding his teeth really bad. We need to take him into the dentist. We need to get those orthopedic bands put in the holes where he's grinding his teeth. He never texted me back about it. He never responded. I told Cameron I was going to take him. Cameron threw a fit. I said, you know what, fuck it. Never mind. Irritated that I'm constantly bashed, like you guys are in here bashing me right now. But I'm not going to stop defending my position or myself, and I'm not going to stop vindicating myself. Our son failed third grade because his father refuses to communicate with me.
And I'm watching it like, no, don't give us all this, because I'm a girl in Chicago on my couch, and I never met you in life, but I know this really precious moment with your son. We're all women, we're emotional, and we go to our phones, but you have millions of followers. And when you do that, you give millions of followers a chance to comment on your personal situation.
They do that anyway.
But
they watch the show, and I don't even have to be in an episode, and they come to my Instagram to talk crap about something they, watched 4 episodes ago. So it's a lose-lose for me.
You know what? You made a fair argument there, because you are a reality star. So we're already watching your life unfold on TV. But when me and your publicist were talking, you have a lot of other things outside of what's currently happening with your child's father and his new girlfriend. So, and we're definitely going to get into all of that. But when your publicists were talking, she's like, make sure I want to focus on that more. And I'm like, I would love to focus on that more, but I think sometimes the reason why what's happening with Fizz and April is still a conversation when it comes with you is because you still give us. Yeah, you still react to it.
Yeah, well, even when it comes to the live that you're talking about the other night in my kitchen, when I was talking about Cam and failing third grade and the dentist, there's a lot that I've kept to myself because, out of protection for Cameron. And it's like, you see how when I say the reasons why my son's father and I need to be on better speaking terms, right, then I'm criticized and I'm, quote, throwing my son under the bus. But you see how if I don't say anything, I'm using my son as an excuse to strike up a conversation with his father. So again, I lose no matter what. Everyone, I implore, I dare, I challenge, I will give somebody $500 in cold hard cash if they can show me, don't tell me. Literally, you show me one person from season 1 of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood until season 6 that's currently airing now. One person that they love to hate more than me. No matter what I do right, there is no one on my cast, there has been no one on my cast that the public has loved to hate more than me. I am damned if I do, I am damned if I don't. If I'm quiet, I'm embarrassed. Oh, that shut her right up. If I'm verbal and I'm speaking out, I'm saying too much. But when you watch the show, it's all good when I'm fighting with somebody. It's all good that, the edit made me look nuts. It's all good that I'm breaking down in tears. But don't be on cloud 9 off camera. And don't have a mental breakdown off camera, because that's just, now you're doing too much. So the public gets to pick and choose what they want to see, what they want to hear, how they want it delivered. And at this point, quite frankly, I just don't really give an F word anymore.
Right. And maybe this isn't fair to say, and you could correct me if I'm wrong. So from the seat that I sit in, when I watch it, I feel as though there's pain, which is validated. I think there would be pain validated of Fizz and April now being in a relationship. And We can respond to that.
I have no negative feelings about them being in a relationship.
I don't think that's true.
It's true. When Cameron first told me, let's take it back to 2017. Mm-hmm. Pictures of Drew and April surfaced online. I never said a word to him. I never said a word to her. Because I didn't care. Like, when blogs were like, oh, is this true? I was like, how the fuck would I know? I don't even really speak to the father of my child. And me and April are not best friends, but we're not enemies, but that's not my place. Whatever. And I actually privately would defend them because I was like, I don't think they'd be that morally, bankrupt. Like, I don't think that they would be that dumb. Like, maybe it's for attention. I don't know. And on with my life. You know what I mean? And when Cameron started telling me, like, oh, when my dad gets stressed out, we go spend the night there, I still didn't think anything of it. And I had no concerns because my interaction with April at that point had always been respectful. I knew her to be a very attentive and hands-on mom. At that point, I think I had heard that she and O were no longer together, but I didn't see them tearing each other up online. And I even remember thinking to myself, like, damn, like, I wish Drew and I could be in that type of, space. And so when Cameron volunteered that that's not his dad's girlfriend, I text April and said, girl, the funniest thing happened tonight at dinner. This is what Cam said. And my response was, if your dad were to have a girlfriend, I would want it to be somebody like April. She's nice to you and she's nice to me.
Can I just jump in, though? I don't think you say you're not hurt by it. No. But if you are hurt by it, I don't think that's a bad thing. Because I think that's validated in a situation where, I don't have any children, but I have a lot of sympathy for single moms. Because what happens is you have your son, he lives with you, he's with you 24/7. And
we have joint.
Okay, you have joint?
We have joint physical and legal.
Okay,
1 week with me, 1 week with dad. So we share equal time and equal financial burden and responsibility.
Okay, so that's good to know. Mm-hmm. Okay, but what I was saying with the single mom situation sometimes is the child's father might go off and be with another woman and then has like this family dynamic. And you had a baby by this man, mm-hmm. but y'all didn't have that family dynamic. It didn't work out. But now you kind of see him with another woman and being, a family man with her.
What does that have to do with me, though?
But, you talk about them, though. You talk about Fizz and April.
I talk about the disrespect that I endure, not about their dynamic. Their dynamic doesn't affect me. Their dynamic affects my son. Whether that's good, then it will affect him in a healthy manner. If it's a negative family dynamic, it will affect him or impact him in an emotionally negative way. Their dynamic, their interaction has zero impact on my life, my emotional well-being, or my mental well-being. That's the narrative that Love and Hip Hop wanted to push. In real life, don't disrespect me. I don't care who you are, how you came to be. That's none of my business. I am not, contrary to popular belief, the baby mama that pries into her baby daddy's personal life. And if I wanted the family dynamic, don't get it f***ed up, that could have been my life. I didn't want that. I left him. And I'm the type of person that when I choose to leave, you have to know that at that point, my emotional and my I call it my love valve, it's off. It's never coming back on. Like, once I emotionally disassociate, that's it. So feelings of intimate feelings for him, longing for him, wanting a family with him, that died when I was 22.
Okay.
3 weeks after having my son.
Well, do you know, can you receive how the perception, it doesn't feel that way? Because I'll just use, I'll use Omarion. Omarion's getting just so much. And again, we're talking about social media. I know you're a real person. Mm-hmm. You got real going on. So really what we think shouldn't matter. But you're a reality star, and it's what the conversation is, and you're putting your life out there. So from a social media stance, everyone's like, Omarion is good. Like, he is not talking about this. He's not giving it any energy. He answered that one question. I have zero feelings. And from how we see him reacting, we believe that. It's hard to believe you're just as chilled as Omarion when we see your actions differently.
Omarion is not on the show. That is an added pressure. And if you notice that when we are on a hiatus, meaning when our show goes off air, we start filming before the next franchise is even done airing. Like, there's filming simultaneously. So technically, we are filming 2 seasons in a year. Okay. We begin 2 seasons. So I say that to say that we get 2 months off. So it seems like 10 months off to you guys, because that's the time it takes for us to come back on between seasons. There's 2 months where we get a break. You understand? So it's like Love and Hip Hop New York is going to come on after us, right? They're going to forget about us. And then we'll be accused whenever we go through a real scenario in life and we react, if it makes a blog, right? If it trumps whatever the Love and Hip Hop New York and Miami cast are doing, and it makes it to the Shade Room or Gossip of the City or this one or that one, right? Then we're trying to stay relevant. Oh, it's a storyline. Oh, it's this, it's that. It's like we can't just have a life. Like, shit can't just happen to us. Like, some bitch is going through the same shit who actually does have feelings for her baby daddy, but she only has 300 followers and nobody knows about her and nobody cares. No one's invested. So
we're all crazy to think that.
I'm not saying that you're crazy to think that. What I'm saying is I have to go on camera and then I have to fight with production about, this is not, why are you making it about this? We have a story meeting and a story call and we have a pre-production meeting, and you ask me questions about what I think and what I feel. So again, let's go back to 2017. Let's go back to 2018 when my son is now telling me these things. And I've never said a word publicly or privately because I'm not affected by that. But now you're sitting here asking me, well, what about April? What about her? Well, she's on Hollywood Unlocked. Okay. You know, do you think she and Fizz are dating? I don't think that they would be that morally bankrupt. I'm sorry, I don't. And it was like they all knew something that I didn't.
Right.
So, but I can't react to something that I don't know. Now, April and I had our spat, which I said, the issue is not you, it's the father of my child. What kind of made my wheels turn was she began questioning me, almost like interrogating me about what the issue with Drew is. Why does that matter to you? Do I ask you what your issues with O are? They're none of my business. And I'm telling you right now that what I'm feeling in the moment is about the way that he does not communicate. How I literally was lied to get my son so he could get our son for Christmas. That's not cool, right? So going into the season, I shot the scene with April, genuinely apologized. She apologized to me. We left that scene laughing, hand in hand, texting, chit-chatting, now coordinating as co-parents. I never asked about she and Drew. Never. And she admitted that several times on camera, but that wasn't the narrative that Love and Hip Hop wanted to push. As a matter of fact, they called me and said, the network doesn't like that you and April made up so fast, so we need to reshoot that. It wasn't spicy enough. Like, what? So I said...
So you guys were good?
We were good. So I said, put the battery in her back, because you guys know just what to tell these motherfuckers, what to say, what to do to really trigger a real response. I will respond according to what's said to me. Because if you go back to the live, the IG live with she and I, she was yelling at me. She was hype with me. I was over talking her. Yes, because you're not listening. You're rah, 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 rah for nothing. Like, you overstepped your bounds. I said your comment on social media was, you deserve to be slapped for that because you only have one side. And you have my number. You could have called me because this was never about you. But now you want to call me. Now that we done made the blogs, don't talk to me offline. Because I get lied on all the time. So if I could comment publicly, you could comment publicly, we'll have the conversation publicly.
What space are you guys in right now? Because you're telling me their relationship together does not bother you.
No.
So are you guys cordial, or probably friends isn't the word to use?
No, we're not cordial. I hope and pray that we can get there. Because as I get tagged in clips of her interviews, literally everything she's saying she's gone through is everything I'm going through. Just lack of communication with O. She only gets $700 a month. I get $0.
So because you guys have joint, so he has when your son's with him, he has to take care of it.
Right.
Okay.
And even if we didn't have joint and I were primary on paper, I still would never ask him for child support. I wasn't raised that way.
Well, no, I mean, you can have your own feelings. I'm 100% for women getting child support when they're raising a child, because if the father's not there, you need help. I mean, it takes finances to help raise a child. But I mean, I feel what you're saying.
Yeah, something in me just never, I don't want that.
Right.
Again, like, my love valve it's off. So when I, like, separate, I don't want anything from you.
So let me ask you this. So as a person that follows you on Instagram, and when you go on live, and when I saw the video about your son being in the, like, you know, failing the 3rd grade, as a person that's watching you, what do you want me to get from that? Like, what are you trying to convince me of when I see, because what I'm telling you, the way I'm receiving it is, I want to hug this girl. Like, I want her to let this go. She's a beautiful girl. She's talented. She's could sing. You know, you have true gifts that God has blessed you with, and I feel like a lot of your energy is still in this statement, like in this situation. It's like, I want to lock you in a room with Sierra, and I want Sierra to tell you whatever she did to, like, say, you know what, I'm the future. I'm gonna go out here and be the baddest woman in the world.
You keep going back to the baby daddy elements. Remove him.
But you don't remove him. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I can't remove him. We have a child together. There's no removing him.
Right.
So
but
at the end of the day, there's a line of communication
right.
that has to happen. I'm not going to go to court. I want to, but my son's too old for that now. And keep in mind, I didn't take him to begin with. He took me. So when I hear April bitching about the fact that she got served papers on Mother's Day, so what? I got served papers at 6 a.m. while I was breastfeeding, and Drew was laying in my bed at my parents' house. Not helping me, but even in the same physical space. So who cares? I sacked up. I did what the hell I had to do as a single mom, and that's just it. But I don't like the narrative that is being pushed and that has been pushed for 6 years on reality TV. And I'm not going to be quiet anymore. You don't respect me. You have never respected me. Don't say you gave me a platform. Let's be honest. Me being on Love and Hip Hop didn't have shit to do with him. It actually came because all the cast from season 1 were my friends. Long before Love and Hip Hop was ever even thought of in Hollywood. I was off the grid. I was walking to and from a 9 to 5. I literally was walking to the grocery store when I got the call from casting. And what they said to me was the craziest thing. I said, what? Your name has come up since the beginning of this process. You know Morgan Hardman, you know Ray J, you know Hazel, you know this one, you know that. Literally, you know the entire cast. You even know Omarion. Do you know April? No. When Omarion and I actually had communication, and we did keep, you know, running into each other, that was the beginning of he and April's relationship. I never met April. Had disappeared after that, as you probably should when you're in a relationship, right? And it wasn't like he and I were friends. We literally just kept crossing paths.
Right.
So she was like, well, you had a deal with Con Live. And I said, yeah. She said, well, when we Googled you, your stage name, Callie, came up. But no one had a working phone number on you. And then Omarion gave us Fizz, and when he came in, he gave us your information, we Googled you, and you just so happened to be Callie. Right. But we've been looking for you. So it had nothing to do with him.
So let me ask you, I asked you this question, but I don't think, I might have cut you off before you answer it. When you go on the live rants, what do you want?
Oh no, I didn't answer.
Yeah.
Sorry,
like what is your goal in that moment? What do you want me as a person that's watching you to get from these lives? Do you want me to feel sympathy for you?
No, I don't want sympathy. I'm tired of the victim label. What I want is for people to start listening. Stop listening to what you see on reality TV, because I'm telling you a million times over, when I sit down and I talk to them, or I sit down and I film these scenes, I'm not ever focused on the two of them. If anyone is paying attention, or if they have half a brain, they clearly hear me state time and again, stop disrespecting me. Why is it now that when you, April, come out about being in a relationship with Drew, all of a sudden you're disrespectful, but 2 weeks ago we were saying we were going to get together for lunch? I'm lost. Like, why are you in my face asking me or stating, you guys aren't friends, what could you possibly have to talk about? I don't know, dumbass. Maybe the human we created, who at the time was in summer school for not passing 3rd grade. Who at that time I had told his father he needs to go to the dentist. because he has a lot of work that he needs and I never got a text back. So there are a lot of things that needed to be discussed that are none of your business.
Like my business, right?
No,
okay.
April's.
April's business. Right?
So, and they're not the world's business. But how many times am I going to get beat down? How much hate mail am I going to get? How many
times? What does your hate mail say? What does it say?
I'm shocked you haven't killed yourself yet. Bitch, you don't deserve to be a mom. Your son should be embarrassed of you. When are you just going to jump already?
Damn.
Blah, blah. Like, I get real hate mail.
That's terrible.
So, again, people just need to shut up and listen. Like, there is a child here who I have bit my tongue and sat on my hands and took the bullet and took the heat for many, many years. And I'm not gonna, it's not that I'm not willing to protect my son, but what I'm not gonna do anymore is continue to be disrespected. I'm not going to be unheard. And if I have to die trying, that's what I'm going to do in order to get the father of my child to understand this is about one thing and one thing only.
So do you think
Stop disrespecting me. Stop letting your bitches disrespect me. It's really quite simple.
But guess what? That might not happen.
And it might not.
It might not happen.
It might not. But again, there's people who also don't know my upbringing and the way that I was raised. In this family, you don't... There, like, failure in any form, fashion, any facet of your life is never an option. My mother tried to mend fences with my biological father until season 2, 2016 of this show. Literally.
Would you say that I know this is a stressful place, but would you say that you're in a happy space right now?
I'm getting there.
You're getting there.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
Now that I know that the show is over, and see, that's the other thing. I get thoroughly confused with Drew because he'll apologize on camera, and then he'll throw like a dig in there. Season 5, he was dating my ex-girlfriend's ex-best friend, and says to me, you know, I'm sorry for putting out there to the world this, that, and the third. You're a great mom. You know, we've been working well together as co-parents. And now I realize that I'll never be able to have a relationship, or I should just stay single. And I went into, have I ever pried into your personal life? He said no. Well, that didn't make the edit. Because, see, that's not the narrative that they want to push. They don't want to push the narrative that I don't bother this man for money. I don't bother this man about who's been around my son. I don't do that. So if I never get that respect, I'll know that at least well into however many years until I just got tired of fighting for it, that at least I tried. And it's not for my own, I don't want that for myself. I want that so that my son doesn't have to continue to feel like, oh, I can't tell my mom what's going on at April and my dad's, or he can't tell his dad what's going on over at my house, or, you know, when my son loves to go on Instagram Live with me. People are ruthless and heartless, so I sit there, but I might have to go to the bathroom. You know, when I come back, he's in the middle of reading comments. Like, one night somebody said, how do you feel about your dad's new girlfriend? And he was in the middle of reading the comment out loud, and he said, oh, how do you feel about your dad's new? And I was like, your dad's new what? Because I was going to block the person. And he was like, my dad's new house. Well, I have super supporters on there who had screenshotted the comment and circled it and said, block this person, because several times they were asking Cameron about, you know, Drew and April. And to see your 9-year-old feel like he didn't want to read that comment because of how you might feel is berserk.
I know how much I could tell you love your son. Like your whole,
absolutely.
like, you know, there's no question with that, and he is the most important person in your life. Do you regret going on live and telling us all that he failed the 3rd grade in order to make a point about? Because I felt like I felt okay. So let me tell you how I received it. I felt like, and you're making a point in Drew and April's behavior. Your son was like, I don't want to use the word a victim, but he was like a piece of the pond, because now we know he failed 3rd grade. Kids could be mean. They could tease him about that. We know about his mouth, you know, his dentist. So it's almost like in order for me to prove that these two people, April and Fizz, aren't the best people in the world, I'm going to use a situation with my son. And I know you don't want him to be teased about things like that.
No, I would never.
So you don't regret doing that?
No. If you watch a majority of my lives, then you know that my son, because I'm his mother and my mother's his grandmother and my father's his grandfather, and
Right. The
whole family.
Yes.
We don't have a filter.
Okay.
I was live last night, and Cameron decided to tell us that he was going through puberty. Like, he just blurted it out. Like, he has hair on his scrotum, and underneath it, on top. This is literally what my son is saying, knowing that I'm live, and he feels comfortable enough. You understand? So he had a whole conversation with his friends about failing 3rd grade at a very expensive private school, by the way. That I said, I'm not going to pay for that. At the time that his father brought that to me, I said, because Cameron's been in public school where they have the No Child Left Behind. Mm-hmm. And I've literally paid out the ass for tutoring. I'm talking about thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. And he only wants to go to this particular public school because his basketball buddies go there. I think it could be a gift and a curse. I have two little cousins that go to the same school, but they've been there since pre-K.
Right.
And I know what this curriculum is. And this structure is. Now, here's my issue. Again, before Cameron went to kindergarten in public school, I said to his father, what is our 5-year educational plan? Because I feel like Cameron is the kid that's going to need private school. I want him to have the public school experience. I was in the group. I didn't get to have that. So it's all about what he didn't get to have because of B2K. And so it's like he was living vicariously through Cameron. Well, I did get to have a childhood. A very financially, my parents had money, my parents' parents have money. So, like, I came up with everything. So I had everything growing up.
Right.
You understand? So I didn't want for anything. And I know what that looks like. And I kept telling him, like, everything you don't like in me is a result of 2 parents who couldn't see eye to eye. Remember that when thinking about Cameron. My lack of ability to focus, I wish I had gone to private school. I think Cameron's going to need private school. Now, cut 2, we're about to go into the 3rd grade, and this 8-year-old boy is dictating that he's going to go to this particular private school. So if that's what you want to do, Dad, you want to, just on his whim, he decides he's going to this private, okay, you take care of it then. Because I can tell you what's going to happen right now. He's going from No Child Left Behind, where if he could be failing every subject, he's not being held back.
So I guess this is the thing. I think you have valid points because you're talking about your child, his education, and what I hear is, you and his father co-parenting is really very difficult. It's very complicated.
Way harder than it needs to be.
Right. But, and not taking away from what you're going through because it's real and you're dealing with it. But there's a lot of women out there who also have co-parenting issues with their child's father. And the difference is they figure out a way to make it work, but or don't, but they don't give it to the world. Because I feel like one of the reasons why we talk more about your situation with Fizz opposed to your singing career and everything else you have wonderful that's going on is because you still give that more attention.
It doesn't matter.
I think it matters.
It doesn't matter as long as that show is on air.
Okay.
What I'm doing doesn't matter. I could literally go on live and talk about music. I can go on live and be in the studio. If I'm not spilling tea, if I'm not losing my mind, it doesn't matter. What you see on television has to correlate to what's going on in real life. If those don't match up and it's not salacious enough, it doesn't matter. Which is why I waited last year to drop my album when I did. Because as long as the show is airing, it does not matter.
So when
that
the show
narrative,
is over, when the show is over, will you stop? Do you think
absolutely? I won't feel the need to defend myself much. At that point, it's off air. I'll be forgotten about. And I can't freaking wait for Love and Hip Hop New York to air because I will be an afterthought 3 weeks into their season. I won't even be so much as I wonder what happened to that girl. And at that moment, I'm impatiently and eagerly awaiting because if it's not what's airing, if it doesn't feed, again, I could be completely silent. I'm never going to get the praise that Omarion is getting because I'm airing in the complete opposite narrative. That is what you have to understand, what people have been given for 6 seasons straight. It's never been true. So I go live and I share my family. I share my son. I say, I'm just like, why is it that I can't say that? When millions of other moms probably go through it. How come I can't say it? Because I'm on TV?
Well, no, I think, well, you told me you weren't upset by their relationship. So I always felt your feelings were validated in how you felt. I think what it is because you've said it before, and it's like if you say it one time, okay, we get it. I think now the perception is you keep talking about it.
Yeah, and every time I see a lie air on television, I'm going to dispel that with the truth. And again, as it pertains to Cameron, do I feel bad? No. And it's not that I don't worry about my son being this or that. You have to understand the type of child that I'm raising. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows my son. And my son, willfully and emotionally, is my twin. So that boy in this household, in this family, on my side, is taught to hide nothing about what happens to him, what he sees, what he hears, and who the hell he is. And so he went to school. When I explained to him, Cameron, when you line up for school next year, I need you to hear mommy and hear me clearly. Everyone in your class is going to line up for the 4th grade but you. I don't care. Okay, so I said to his dad, look, I'm paying for the tutoring, you're paying for the tuition. I flew my aunt out here, who's a 2nd grade school teacher, bought her every supply she ever needed, kept her here for a month, housed her, paid her on top of that. He doesn't care. Because over there, it is dad's failed hoop dreams. It is I go to an expensive private school with all the who's of who's kids. This one's daughter and this one's son goes to my school, and I'm going to see this one's son at the Midnight Madness. And that's what the focus is over there. And it took him failing the 3rd grade for dad's side to finally say, oh, damn. Maybe we should focus more on, you think? All we had to do was get on the same page. When people are like, oh, well, what is it being, da-da-da, it matters. Because if I'm over here driving academics and transparency and honesty, and then he goes over here and we can eat junk food and the snack cabinet is down low so that we don't actually have to stop and get the food for Cameron, or, he can sit on YouTube all day long over there because no one is double checking the homework. No one is saying, write a summary about what you read. No one is up this boy's butt about what he should be doing, right? So it's hurry up and get it done so we can go to practice. Hurry up and get it done. You're going to be late for practice. 3 practices a week. That's the focus, right? So
I want to move on to some other things, but this is a person you have a child with, and you're going to be into his life forever. He may never change in his ways. He may be this type of dad until your son turns 18 and beyond. For me, I guess there's a piece that I want you to kind of reconcile with that so it doesn't bother you so much in your life. And I don't know if that was I'm not again, I don't have a child, so that could be an ignorant statement to say from a woman who doesn't have a child.
No.
But it's I feel like this is, it's heavy. Whether you,
it's heavy.
Yeah, it's like a cloud that's over you. And me personally, I want you to get from under that cloud, be this beautiful girl that you are. I want you to show up with a new man, or whatever the case may be that looks like for you, and then that is just truly your past. I want that Sierra story for you.
Yeah, I think that once the show goes off air,
okay,
I think that I will really be able to actually heal, because I'll be an afterthought.
Okay. And
I won't have to deal with all of that. I won't feel the need to defend myself, because what am I defending myself against? And I can kind of fight the battle privately. So I can't wait for that moment. And I feel like, again, the way that I was raised, my mom and I, the public saw my mom and I on season 2. We had our fair share of issues. Mm-hmm. We're in a healthier space. It's touch and go. Mm-hmm. We still have a lot to work through and figure out and discuss. But what I will say is, the way that, again, I always go back to my upbringing. This never got properly told on Love and Hip Hop.
I know you mentioned therapy. Are you still in therapy?
Yes, I do my phone sessions. Those are now considered, and I tell my followers all the time, if you are struggling, or now Skype is considered a legal session. Phone sessions are considered legal sessions. So I feel like I do my my phone sessions. I see my psychiatrist. We adjust medication if need be. I'm thinking about tapering off once the show does go off air, because I always feel a million times better during the hiatus. And now that I'm not going back, I think that I'll have a lot more time to actually implement the tools that I have been given, that are time, like they require my physical time, you know, that I don't have during the season, between trying to record an album, trying to finish the clothing line, trying to start the podcast, but first and foremost, above all of that, Cameron, school, basketball, and the issues that surround co-parenting. So I feel like once that's gone, the cloud can slowly start to go. But again, in terms of my upbringing, my parents have been married for 31 years. Hell and high water. My brother's mentally ill, that's not a secret, lives at home, he just turned 30. I live 4 stoplights away, I'm 32, I call my dad for everything. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So my dad is an amazing role model for my son, and they're 2 peas in a pod, thank God. I know a lot of women don't have that. And as I watched my mom, like I said, until I was well into adulthood, fight to make it right with my father because of the effect that had on me.
But they're together, like,
no, my biological father.
Gotcha.
They are not. My mom and my biological father were never engaged, never married.
Right.
They haven't been together since I was 6 weeks old. So she still never asked him for child support, never put him on papers, nothing, you know? And so that was the example that I had. And I watched my dad, my stepdad, who is my dad to me, only father I've known since infancy, deal with a shitty co-parent, if you will. My biological father was the shitty co-parent.
Right.
And I heard too much. I saw too much. And so, again, that is why for 5 seasons I bit my tongue. And then I broke, I fractured, I cracked, I folded. This season, and I couldn't take anymore. And so I am desperate to get back to that place where I can just say, fuck it. But at the end of the day, that's my son. And I know that the disaccord between his father and I really stresses him. At 9, his anxiety is through the fucking roof over everything. Everything.
Right.
And he will tell me. He tells me. But when he's with his dad, he has to be harder. That's a sign of weakness. Why are you crying? Why are you so... But over on my side, he can break down. He can tell the truth. And there's a lot that I actually don't tell his father that he expresses to me. That I ask my parents, don't tell Drew. I used to tell my ex, don't tell my mom and dad. Or don't tell Drew. Or when you coordinate with Drew for me, don't tell him X, Y, and Z. There is a lot still that I shield my son from. So if it's not something that my son has blurted out on Instagram Live himself, I haven't said it. So again, where you guys think my son was just the innocent bystander in the failing 3rd grade, the dentistry, you don't watch all my lives. I mean, my son blurted out a version of events as to how he got born and the nature of his relationship between his father and I that was given to him by his father.
Right.
That I screen recorded and saved because I was blown away.
Gotcha.
You know, so as he's being given certain information on the other side, and then he blurts it out, this is not even stuff that I'm aware has been, that's been discussed with him. Because I've done my best to shield him from adult content no matter what it is. If I'm arguing with his dad, it's always via text or while he's at school or while he's down the street at my parents', never in front of him. I will never let anyone say, I could want to knock Drew's head off, clean off his shoulders like I do right now. Doesn't matter. You're never going to sit in my face and tell me anything negative about the father of my child. I'm always all for a united front until...
Well, you guys are a reality star, so he's going to see the opposite. Like,
He
you might
will.
not do it in front of him, but
He will.
it's going to be there.
Now, let me tell you, that part, Kendra, that is the part that disturbs me, is that for many years I held it together, and now I am going to be in the hot seat, which is I was trying to keep myself out of that. I always took solace in knowing that Drew would be the only one that Cam would be able to sit down and say, why'd you say that about my mom? And now I'm going to be in that same hot seat. The difference between Drew and I is he going to be able to take accountability? Because I know I can. And in any way that my son is negatively affected that he can express to me, I'll take that. Without excuses, without explanations, without backstories. Because when it comes to my child, the semantics don't matter. All I know is what he says he feels. and how I watch him express what he doesn't say.
Right. Let's talk about the music, because one thing for sure is you got a whole bunch of songs, girl. You got a lot of things that you can talk about, and that I feel as though, I mean, you have our favorite musicians like Mary J. Blige and like, you know, Keisha Cole, like their lyrics, you know, women can relate to. And I feel like because you have gone through so much as a woman and just with dating your child's father, everything else, you have so much to talk about. So let's talk about that. How is that going?
I had, you know, went through like this really disgusting depressive state, having nothing to do, as Love and Hip Hop has liked to push it, with April and Drew. I was going through my own shit, my own breakup, just residual feelings with that. And I was going through this season without any backup. I didn't have anyone. And my ex was still trying to monopolize off of that, still trying to make her way back to that, trashing me online, like, and that really was kind of like what spiraled it, because again, for her to have been on the inside of my family and watched the things that Drew has done to Cameron, to me, and all of that, and then for her to take to the internet to become him, to become every previous cast member that didn't like me, that really sent me. So I put everything, not intentionally, but emotionally, just on hold, and then I lost my voice screaming at the reunion. It happens to me literally every year. So I put it on hold, and I'm actually torn about when I want to release this new album called Honesty. And this one is completely different than my first album, The Naked Truth, because this one, I'm talking a lot of shit, but it's a completely different feeling. So I'm a ballad writer, I'm a ballad singer. I don't really do mid-tempos and up-tempos, but this album is full of up-tempos.
Right. And
I'm still going to be releasing it at a time that we would consider cuffing season. So
cuffing season is when it gets cold again.
Right.
Okay, okay.
So I'm thinking end of Q4, which is now. I don't know if I can really, that's a realistic goal. But I do know that sometime before the end of the year, I am dropping 2 singles, Ill, which is definitely a shot at my baby daddy.
Okay, so look, see right there, which I mean it is, and I'm not.
I can't put my
no, you can't.
April make a diss song about me?
No, you can't. You can do whatever you want. Okay, you can do, like, that's the thing. Like, you are controlling you. I guess what I'm saying is, he's always in your story. I don't want him
for the rest of my life.
No, this is not true now. This is not true. You have a child together, yes, but he does not have to be a part of your whole entire story and everything that you do.
He has been a part of this, why I chose to make, there's several elements that go into this album. Just like, I mean, I think on Keisha's last album, didn't she have a song about, like, her divorce and...
True, yes, that is valid, yes.
So those don't make up feelings, no matter how long ago. Like, every album, you know, when I did the Naked Truth album, I was going through a breakup with the same stupid idiot. And that album didn't reflect anything about what I was going through. Because when that happened, I was already halfway through. So when I started this album, it was at the top of this season. You have to remember, we started filming in March.
Right, and then you took a break because you said you went through some
stuff.
Yes.
I was bouncing back and forth between filming for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta while simultaneously filming for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 6.
Gotcha.
And that's where I was at the time. I was being ambushed with that. And then I have the second single, which is Talk to Me. That one is a lot more fun.
Okay.
And that one was about kind of, you know, how girls want to feel. You know, like you want... whoever, and that was kind of inspired by my now ex-girlfriend. So there's a lot of really like fun stuff, like, and you'll hear what it's about, but there's lots of elements that go into this. Like, there's a record called Reality versus Reality, and I'm really just exposing a lot of stuff that people wouldn't really understand goes on reality TV.
So, but you made
a hit list. Right. I got a record called The Hit List. Everybody that I wish I could just 6 feet under and forgotten.
I want you to start making money off of all like these stories that are the pain that you've gone through, and the music is the best place to sing those songs and to let it out too. Mm-hmm. Now you made it clear you're not returning to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, but you're going to be on another reality show, your own reality show.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Are you working on that?
With my family. Just thought, you know, we're thinking about it, thinking about like what that would look like, how do you start something like that? Do you start digital? Do you go to network? Do you, like, what do you do? I don't know. You know what I mean? So, like, everything right now is just, like, a discussion, and it's what does this look like? There's so many different personalities and dynamics in the family that, you know, you've got my dad, who's a 10-time Grammy Award-winning gospel singer and producer, and he's, you know, very, he's titled himself the funniest person in the family, but we're all like, you're not the funniest. But he's actually really funny, but you would never, like, you know, think that. He's really quiet. He's really hard to read. You have my mom, who we call, like, you know, she's the smother mother. She has titled herself the original badass. She gets, like, she's very vocal, which is where I get that from. Very transparent. And, you know, she's always yelling and her lips get really tight. You know, like that black mom thing, she's always spitting and she's always a finger, so, like, that's her. Then you've got my sister, who's, like, completely, I hate to say this and I'll be crucified for it, but fuck it, she's whitewashed. You know? She's, like, literally, she's just a mess, and she's got, like, a mess in a good way, but she's graduated from Syracuse University and went straight into producing for major networks, ABC, NBC, you know, and then there's my brother, who we all saw in Dr. Phil, and, like, his struggle and what that looks like for our family.
Right.
And just the ins and outs and ups and downs of that. And then there's me, and just kind of trying to figure out, what do I do with life after Love and Hip Hop? Like, do I want to be with a man? I'm 99% sure I don't.
So no more guy.
No, girl, I let Scrap Top me up my panties, and I don't even wear panties, so I don't even know how that happened. But it did. And that was, like, it for me. I was like, no, this isn't it. You know, this is not where I want to be.
Wow.
And I don't want anything like this inside of me, so, yeah.
Okay, so a female, so you still want to date a female?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want my ex one to get hit by a bus, but that's neither here nor there. I think I still would like to date a woman.
Okay, a woman. Mm-hmm. Yes. And you have a podcast, and you have a person in here with you. Come on. Come have a seat happening, or are you working on
podcast launches? That is the most finite date I have for the people, is the podcast.
Okay, so when's the podcast?
That one is coming out on my 33rd birthday, March 4th, and it's called Pussy Power.
Pussy Power!
Yeah, and it's myself.
Okay.
My cousin, PhD, Allison Hicks. She is a certified life coach. She's got her PhD. She's amazing. She's very, very similar to myself. And then a lot of people would never expect it, but yeah, Tiffany Campbell, who the public knows from being on seasons 4 and 5 with myself, my baby daddy, and my ex, Poochie, and Marriage Boot Camp with Drew. And we were able to make amends and make peace, and kind of, you know, she can tell you about her own journey. But
so you're going to be on this podcast. So you guys found a way to find your friendship.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell me how that was for you.
It was a journey. But Moniece actually kind of broke the ice and reached out to me.
Okay.
I just had my daughter. She's 4 months, so I went on a hiatus. I disappeared. Right after Marriage Boot Camp, I found out I was pregnant, and I went under my rock. No more social media. Like, I was totally gone. And then she found me, reached out to me, and then checked on me my whole pregnancy. And that just spoke volumes for me. Like,
close.
wow.
What actually happened was AD and I broke up season 4, right?
I don't know. It's been a lot of breakups.
Yeah. I think it was like end of season 4 before 5.
Okay.
And I did reach out to her, and I apologized, and I was like, I just want to let it go. And then we went through season 5, and she and I would keep in touch, like, here and there, whatever the case was. And then she was pregnant, and then I saw that after Marriage Boot Camp. Then she disappeared, and I was like, what the hell? And then one night, a couple months ago, I was on Instagram and she popped, I think you DM'd me. And you were like, Mo. And I was like, is it really you?
Yeah.
Like,
I left a comment. I think I left a comment.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's
like,
what it was.
Is this really you or is this? And I'm
yeah,
like,
I couldn't
really
tell because I didn't even know that she had gone off the grid.
Right.
So when I saw the comment, I was like, I was my ex and I weren't together. I was like, is this a trick? Is this a trap? Tell me something only I would know.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So Tiffany, this is your girl, right?
Yes.
When she, like, I was talking to her earlier about some of the things she does on live and she expresses herself. Do you call her and say, get off that damn phone and stop? Like, what is, like, do you feel how we feel sometimes?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've called you maybe once or twice.
Okay.
Like, get off live. Doing too much.
She'll like FaceTime me on purpose.
Okay. Now you also know about April and Fizz's relationship as well too.
Yeah.
And it started earlier than what they're sharing with the public.
I believe so, yeah. I believe they started before marriage boot camp, before we even went in the house filming. And it's just like, if that's what you're doing, be honest about it. But don't string everybody along. Like, they're out of touch with reality. Like, yeah, you guys are on a show and all of this, but be honest. Come to the table and put everything out there. And this is what we're doing. This is real life.
Right.
And then film that. Like, why lie about it?
This is your friend right here. When people say, well, we think she's just being the bitter baby mama, what do you say to that?
She's lesbian.
Well,
Like, she does not want Drew. Like, the ship sailed. And I because I'm a single mother, so I get it.
Right.
I get it. Yeah, they do 50-50. At the end of the day, that's her child. So I get it. A lot of things happen that are off camera that people don't hear about, people don't know, and then they come to their own conclusion about, and that it's frustrating. I get it. So, bitter baby mama? No, I don't think that's it. I think that if Drew would have came to the table and brought the truth to her from the jump, then they could have sat down and had a conversation on how they're going to apply this to Cameron. Because he's in it. This is his life too. But when you don't, and you tell her, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I don't know, you're crazy. Okay, calm down. That pisses her off.
right.
Like, he should have been a man from the jump, sat her down, hey, out of respect for you, the mother of my child, because at the end of the day, we have to raise this little person together. He never did that for her. And that's where she gets pissed off. Like, all social media, bitter baby mama, no, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I wanted to just conversate about that because, like I was saying, it was the perception that people give and always the conversation. But I like the dynamic of you two. I hope this can last for a while because I feel like it's a new energy. Like all the other stuff that you have going on, it brings a new energy to Moniece, and I feel like that's what I want the world to talk more about. You know, but
I also feel like, you know, again, when it comes to like the podcast, Allison is married, but she doesn't have kids. She's a life coach. I'm not married,
right,
but I have a kid. Tiffany is entering into, or, you know, like getting back into dating, and she has, you know, like her own thoughts and opinions on that, on after what she just went through, and she just had another, you know, kid, and her daughter's like drop dead gorgeous, by the way. So I think that like that dynamic, we have like 3 different perspectives, and the show is all about empowering women, and I just felt like, you know, everyone saw me make amends with Princess. No one saw me make amends with Lyrica. No one knew that I made amends with Tiffany. And those weren't things that I wanted to publicize because my efforts were genuine.
right.
And so if that was something that she wanted to post or share or whatever, I would have had no problem with that. But I never want anyone to feel like, you know, oh, this is for the show. Like, let me make up with you for the show, and then, you know, when the cameras go down, I'll F you. You know, it wasn't that. And so I made sure that, like she said, like, throughout her pregnancy, I did stay as consistent as possible, given my own, you know, emotional ups and downs, and just checking on her, like, knowing, never prying. I mean, did I pry? I don't think I pried. Yeah, I never pried. I would see things, like, here and there about her and her daughter's father. And so I would just, hey, just thinking of you. Like, if she chose to share, great, we would have a dialogue. But I think that having her on the podcast speaks volumes, because this is the type of stuff that I care about. This is actually who I am and who I've always been. Love and hip hop just hardened me. And it's cost me a lot of, like, friendships, and, you know, it's made me, like, I trust too much. now I go everywhere and do everything with my guard up. It cost me my love relationship. Like, I didn't see my future without Dum Dum, you know, before she dumped me 7 times in 3 years. Like, I didn't see my life without her. You know, now all of a sudden I was gay for pay, and the relationship wasn't real. We never lived together. It's like, girl, be quiet and sit down and go on about your life. You left, go do that, you know? So, again, like, just because you're not in the picture doesn't mean that I don't want to be with another woman.
Right.
Just because you're not in the picture doesn't mean I have to beef with her. It doesn't mean that I have to beef with everybody that you're fucking going around talking shit about me to. Like, I literally am trying to make peace, move on, and thrive elsewhere. So I just want the show to go off air. I want people to see, like, once that's removed, you know, like, I waited until the season was done filming to reach out to her to make amends. So she knew. Like, this has nothing to do with the show. Literally everything to do with the fact that, like, I'm warped. And, like, as I sit here and I think, like, I know this isn't me and I know this isn't you. You know, like, we started off cool.
Right.
Not even knowing that we shared my ex in common at the time.
Right.
So let's just get back to that. Let's just focus on being moms. Like, she has a whole catering business and taco truck and lash line and 2 kids. And I'm, like, trying to do a clothing line. And
she gonna hook you up with a female too. I need you to find her some vagina.
I told her
we gotta find you some vagina, girl.
You know what? When the show again, I told Tim.
I asked her. I said, "Can we do like a speed date type thing?" She was like, "No, absolutely not." I'm like, "I think I know your type."
I'm just
okay. What is your type? Now, what is your
I'm
type?
not ready. I don't
think. You know what? I can agree. You see yourself never returning to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood?
If I go broke. I'm not one of those cast members who's like, I'm never, like, if I go broke, I'll be back. Okay. I walked away. Okay. I know that I still have a home there.
Right.
I know that I have a great little working relationship with Mona, and I don't really see eye to eye with the network, but they don't really see eye to eye with me, but at the end of the day, I know I know how valuable I am to them, and they know it.
Right.
And I do appreciate the monetary value of their platform. I don't appreciate the narrative, so that would be something that if I did ever go back would absolutely have to be, like, inked. That if it's not something that's actually going on in my life, if you're not going to actually use my name and likeness appropriately to what's going on in my life without manipulating edits and sound bites, then I will never do it again.
Gotcha. I'm so happy I had a chance to meet you and talk to you.
Thank you.
Because you said yourself that you have healing to do. And when I said we wanted to give you some vagina, you said, I'm not ready. And the unfortunate part is a lot of us have been in that space. We're just not as famous as you. And we're just not documenting it on social media. So we don't also have strangers coming in, you know, commenting and telling us stuff about ourselves. So, you know, as in talking to you, I learned that you're going through something right now. That's real.
I'm going through the motions. I'm trying to figure out how, first and foremost, you know, to get the co-parenting back on track, because that's what's healthiest for my son. Right. Secondly, while doing that, am I compromising my own sanity? Am I compromising my own emotional well-being? Am I compromising my own productivity and everything else I want to do in my life? Am I stunting my own growth and evolution? And if I am, how can I find that balance? Because one can't really suffer now that I'm not going to be on the show. Everything else that I'm doing has to work. Like, I can't let that overwhelm me, but at the same time, what is the line? Like, what is going to be my end? What's going to be my boundary? What is my, you know, line in the sand going to be? Because at the same time, nothing is ever too much for I can never endure too much for my son and his well-being. Right. Like, nothing is ever going to be too much for me to take for Cameron's sake. Right. So I don't know if I'll ever find or get to a place where I'm like, fuck this, fuck him. We're never going to get there. I'm over it. You know, I don't think I'll ever get to that place. But at the same time, it can't.
I think you can get to that place. Because, like, one thing I listened to you when you're talking, you said you're wondering if anything you're doing is stunting your growth. And that was that is my perception. I feel like some of the things that, and I'm speaking from a situation without having kids, so I could be insensitive, but the way I perceive it is you're stunting your growth because you're still giving this a lot of energy. But you just said you're conscious of that. So in this conversation, what I learned is you're figuring it out. You know, but in the midst of you figuring it out, you're just putting us in it. like the world's involved.
You guys are already in it.
Yeah, we're involved in figuring out.
Yeah, because of Love and Hip Hop, you're in it.
Yeah,
and you know, again, that's why I say I can't wait for that to be over, so you can be out of it. Because if I'm not there, he can say very minimal about me because I am not a part of your storyline. I'm not a part of what you got going on with Hope Roll. I don't have anything to do with any of that, you know. So
wait, what? I missed the Hope Roll. What is that? Hope Roll? Oh, they're to get Hope. Like, okay, give me the backstory of Hope Roll. I don't know the Hope Roll backstory. Don't do it.
There's no backstory. I renamed her Hope Roll.
Oh, you renamed her. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I'm not a part of that story, you know. So my life will become my own again.
Right.
And that's just it. And like I said, I'm excited to embark on like all these new journeys.
Yeah.
Some people, you know, we coming back together. Mm-hmm. Some people completely got the boot. Some people are new, but really just fostering those relationships. Like Tiffany and I are going to work on so many things together, and you would never think. But I think that that's just such a huge statement because it's also just naturally there. Mm. And when you remove Love and Hip Hop,
people
and certain people who change for the lights and cameras, and the lights and cameras have changed them. Mm-hmm. You get down to the bottom of it, and really, I'm no different, you know, than her. So to see her thrive without the camera, she's not on the show anymore. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? She literally disappeared from social media free. I didn't even know. Like for almost her whole pregnancy, I had no idea. But that's the other thing. People would also think that, like, how would you not know that? I actually don't sit around and troll the internet all day.
Right.
Only when I first wake up and only when I go to bed because I'm insomniac.
I am an avid Instagram person. I'm not going to lie. I'm on it 24/7. But no, this is good. This is good. I feel like, you know, I got to know you more. I got to learn you more. And I was happy that I had this opportunity in this moment. I love you two together because it has a different type of energy. Pussy Power. We're gonna call it Pussy Power. And when is it air again?
March 4th.
March 4th. Okay.
And it'll be on my YouTube channel. Okay. Her YouTube channel. I'm starting digital. I don't want to sell it yet. I want to just like do my own thing, stay in creative control because again, that was one of the things I think Love and Hip Hop did to me. Not having control of the edit and the outcome. Now I'm like, that's another reason I'm, you know, it takes me so long to do an album. Like, if I can't be there in every mixing session, if I can't be... Like, I write my own treatments. I do my own mood boards for all the images, for the single covers, the album cover. Like, my dad spent 6 hours in a mixing session for one song alone on my last album. Mm-hmm. So I'm, like, that now. So, like, with our podcast, Pussy Power, like, it's all about empowering women, mental health, highlighting women in politics, single mothers, relationships, same-sex, hetero, like all of that, all like literally just covering it all. Good girlfriends making up and breaking up, like, you know, who do we think is like the bigger bitch, like who's bitching the other one in the relationship, and like why we, like I could swear like before Wendy came out and said I could have sworn she was beating the shit out of Kevin Hunter. You know, that's like the type of shit we're talking about. And I just recently met Wendy and she's like so sweet. Like, again, like you would think she's the complete opposite, you know, and you never know until you just like sit down and talk to somebody. Yeah. So I think that like trying to cover all of that and really just highlight like, I don't like bullies. I'm like always rooting for the underdog. Mm-hmm. So like, I think that's one of the things that encourages me to speak up about like my emotional disorders and watching my brother go through his mental health struggle, like now speaking out about mental health and educating people on the differences. Mm-hmm. There are emotional disorders, there are mental illnesses, and like I really want people to stop lumping the two together and stop, like when someone has enough, you know, like balls to come forward, you know, oftentimes in the Black community it's a demon, it's a spirit, you can pray it away, go see a holistic doctor, like, oh, you're fine, you're just being, There's always, like, a negative stigma. Mm-hmm. And there's a lack of understanding. And that's why people don't want to say anything. Mm-hmm. And that's why they don't want to go to therapy. And that's why they don't want to take medication, because then they're crazy. You know? So I really wish people would stop saying stuff, not just about me, but anyone who, like, I'm Summer Walker, for example.
Right.
Everyone's jumping down her throat because she's like, I have social anxiety. I don't want to do meet and greets. And that's what comes with, I have social anxiety. That's what comes with that. I cannot. She'll tell you, like, recently we just celebrated one of her friend's birthdays. I can't do the club for more than 45 minutes. I can't. Like, I thugged it out for her because she just had a baby, and, like, you know, I want her to know, like, you have my support, whatever that looks like. So if I got to thug it out in the club and, you know, head over to Bossa Nova, when we got to Bossa Nova, I was like, I'm out.
Right.
I can't, you know, like, I cannot, because I can't control my environment.
Right.
And that's a very scary thing. I immediately panic. I immediately become overwhelmed. I don't want a car service. I want to drive because I need to be in control. So when, like, I hate that Summer Walker's taking this beat down because it's like, you have no idea. And, like, people swear it's not real. And it's like, who wants to feel like that? Like, she's really trying to live out her dream and her passion. I really want to live out my dream and my passion, but I'm only here today, and, like, I'm getting it all out today because I don't know if I want to do this next week.
Right.
And that's not something I can control. Like, my PR could hit me and be like, hey, you know, I'm supposed to do one next Tuesday, and it's a phoner. I might not want to. And that's just a reality of the situation. Right. I don't know.
Right.
You know, and I know that feeling, and I can relate to that feeling. That also makes me scared to continue to put out music because then I'm obligated. Like, but I'm not really. That's the thing. Like, I am a human. Like, Summer Walker's a human.
And that's what I was going to say when, with Summer Walker and what you were talking about. The unfortunate thing is most people don't look at celebrities as humans. And now you add social media where people can, it's almost like on Instagram, I could directly tell you what I think about you. Like, I can directly go to your page, leave a comment, and say something negative, how we talked about earlier. And what people don't realize is 1,000 people doing that to one person can cause a lot of harm. And if someone committed suicide, we would all be devastated. But no one would own up to the part we played. And that's why I said it literally was me, and let's being honest, when I saw it was a blog, when I saw the thing about talking about your son. Mm-hmm. And I was getting ready to leave a comment that wouldn't have been kind. And I said, you know what? I should have a conversation with her because maybe I'm missing something here. And, you know, instead of, you know, I'm in a position where I can actually talk to her. Opposed to just going under the comment and saying what I think in this moment. And I think that's what's sad right now in our society is that, you know, because, you know, celebrities do have the life. Like, you get the life, you know, you're on television and, you know, whatever the case may be, people still don't have that much sympathy because you're famous. You're on TV. You got nice wigs, you know, you have clothes.
Girl, my wigs are trash. So, but what I'm trying to say is, all my wigs come down to my eyebrows, sis, and I don't have a really big forehead. So let's just start with that. And secondly, you know, you see other megastars, Cardi B, she's talked about it.
Yeah.
And I wish that Instagram, I'm with Cardi, instead of getting rid of the likes, it's not the likes that do it. It's not the likes that make even someone without millions of followers.
Right.
Like, she doesn't have millions of followers in her, and she's starting over, right? I see the comments on her page sometimes because I turn on my notifications for hers now because she liked to leave Instagram and say, around and so I see her comments, and just from us going live, like, she's gotten more and more followers and now more and more comments, and the comments are just like evil.
Right.
And I can see hers because it's like 25 comments because she's just rebuilding her following, but it's like 25, right? And I can only imagine how that makes you feel. Go to my page,
right,
and filter through hundreds and sometimes, like you said, thousands of those from people that don't know me, and I literally have been, like you said, spazzing out because now my brain is going to, like, how crazy is this? That, like, you literally do not know me. Mm-hmm. Like, if you could be a fly on the wall in my house for just 6 hours in one day. Mm-hmm. I have said this a million times. Given my struggles, like, emotionally, and my emotional disorders and diagnoses and all the steps that I have to take to just maintain a day, I don't know one person that could live inside my head or literally live my life for 6 hours and not jump off a bridge, and that's not an exaggeration. I don't know one person that wouldn't just blow their head off, and that's not an exaggeration, and that's without reality television. Now add that element and kiss my fucking ass, because the fact that I'm still standing with all the hate, all the assumptions, people not stopping to think before they fucking speak, even when I'm out in public with my child. I could have offed myself and been legitimate a long fucking time ago. So how dare anyone say that my son is not my main priority, not my focus, because if it were not for him, I'm telling you right now, and I had been on reality TV, I probably wouldn't still be here. And that's the God's honest truth. And I've told that to my therapist, I've told that to my psychiatrist. I never want to feel that again. So with that being said, like, I've never actually had the thought of like, oh, how would I kill myself, and how would, like, those thoughts have never crossed my mind. But I know that there are millions of people that struggle with that, and those are their thoughts.
Right.
And some do follow through.
Right.
And I would literally hate, and that was my thought. Like, I stopped commenting on a lot of stuff, believe it or not, that didn't have anything to do with my life directly, because I would hate to think that just me and my opinion as someone who has lived now as a public figure, or what society would call a celebrity, even though I just think I'm uber popular, I'm not a celebrity. That's how I look at myself. And think that, like, that one comment, like, had something to do with this person having those thoughts, or, like, my one contributed to thousands compiled together actually, like, led them to do it. Like, and so when I stop and I think like that, I get so irritated with people, because I'm like, you don't even know me, but you literally stopped your day. Like, let's really process this. Like, you stopped your day. And, bitch, you work a 9 to 5. You don't got the kind of freedom I got with my time. I get paid, technically, if we want to be technical, to do this. Like, me beefing with you hoes online keeps me employed. So if we want to keep it real, yeah, I have time. I get paid to do this. And some days, I'm not even going to hold you. When I'm having a bad day, I wait for somebody stupid to say something stupid to me, because I'm just that witty, I'm just that smart, and I know I can cut you way deeper with my words. I literally say it all. I get paid to run my mouth and my hands, and I do both very damn well. So I've literally said, like, I dare somebody to ever think that they could run up on me. Like, the beat downs that I've wanted to give people for so long, you can never beat somebody like me. I say it's always, it's like,
well, don't beat nobody down, because you can end up in jail. It's called against the law.
Never, right. No, I get that. It's also called self-defense if somebody were to ever try me. Yes. My point is, these are the thoughts. Like, this is how I have to think. Like, imagine waking up and thinking, like, today could be the day that some idiot decides, like, yeah. That literally is my life. Today could be the day that I'm somewhere with my son and somebody feels like they don't like what they see on TV.
So people come up to you in public and say things to you?
They don't. Sometimes, yeah, they will. Like, one girl, I think I was in Bed Bath & Beyond, and she was like, hey, oh, you... I was like, hi. She was like, I just wanted you to turn around because I thought that was you, but girl, you are way cuter on TV. Can I take a picture? I was like, bitch, no.
Right.
Oh, so you are evil. Like, what?
Right. Yeah.
This is a joke.
Yeah. And they will never get it. I mean, those people, that's just a rude statement to say, though. But again, because I've been working in media now for 18 years. So every celebrity you could think of, I've interviewed or met, and I just know how people act towards celebrities. And they just don't look at them. And I know you don't consider yourself a celebrity, but celebrity means famous. People know you who you don't even know, and a lot of people. So you are a celebrity. And people just don't have a lot of sympathy at times until something tragic happens, and then now we're all crying.
Yeah, but you know what? In parting, like, I don't like the word sympathy, because to me, I equate sympathy, and again, how I was raised, I equate sympathy to, like, a pity party or like a victim. You know what I mean? I appreciate the word empathy.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Because empathy is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, their scenario, their mindset, their childhood trauma, their adulthood trauma, their triggers. One's ability to be able to do that, that's when you have understanding. That's why you see me make Peace with Princess, Jason Lee, Tiffany. I mean, the list goes on. Lyrica, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. People that you guys, Brandy Norwood, after everybody saw that whole beef online between she and I don't have a single beef with a single soul on this planet. See, I'm disappointed in the way that my son's father just respects me and refuses to communicate for our child, right? But we're not beefing. You're mad at me and I don't even know why. And I've posed the question what is it? Because if I don't know what it is, I can't help you heal that. And what is it? I don't know. I could never answer that question. I don't know, because I've never gotten an answer. Even with April. You're mad at me. You're mad at me and you got mad at me at the skating rink, but 2 weeks before that, we were fine. I don't know why. So there's no beef. You're mad at me.
Well, you definitely put her on blast this week with the live and the when you text her and all that. So she's definitely probably mad about that.
I don't care. And at the end of the day, again, I pray that we can get there, not because there are 3 children involved. Right. And I remind the public of that all the time. It's not just my son. There's also Mega and there's also Ame, and they've done nothing to me.
Have you talked to Omarion? I'm not sure. I know you say you're not Omarion, but have you two had your own conversation?
No.
No?
No.
So you do not want to talk to him?
No, I don't. I think he's living his life. He's getting ready to do his own Millennium Tour that has nothing to do with B2K. I think great for him. I think it's very commendable how he's handled this. And literally the only communication he and I have had is it was his birthday, and I did leave a comment on his page, and I started off with, I'm not looking for a response. I established that we haven't spoken personally and directly to one another in years now, but I just want to thank you. I actually thanked him for handling it the way that he has, and that is a level of vibration that a frequency that I pray that one day I can vibrate at, 1, and 2, it is inspirational for me because there's so much like me, so much truth like me that you could expose. And the fact that you won't, unlike my baby daddy, is a testament to the ways that you consider the emotional well-being of the mother of your children. And also the emotional well-being of not just your children, but my son.
Right.
So thank you for that level of awareness, and thank you for that sacrifice, because I can only imagine in my little healing, she'll tell you, like, I feel so lonely, right? But that's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make because like I know for me that if I'm going to get there, I can't have any outside noise. Again, even with what just I struggle with emotionally, I can't, like when the weeks I don't have my son, I have 1 day of like stimulation with outside people. And then I can't anymore. Like I've realized that I'm an empath. I can't take on those energies. I have dreams and vision, and I get the goosebumps, and it's like I can't. Once I get there, I can have a conversation with somebody and be completely just exhausted. I'll need to sleep for the rest of the day. And I never knew what that was. Right. So as far as O is concerned, I can only imagine what self-sacrifice. It seemingly is very lonely at times, and so to do that, not just for your own sanity, but for the sanity of someone that I know you can't stand, even though she is the mother of your children, for your children, and then another man's child. That's a lot to take on. And so I had to thank him for that. And I genuinely was not looking for a response. I didn't even know that he replied until a fan DM'd it to me days later. And he just said, I appreciate that, Moniece, and thank you for the acknowledgement. And I didn't try to initiate a dialogue. I just liked it and went on with my life. So outside of that, we've had no communication. Right. None. And I commend him, but I'm not him.
Right. I know you're not him, but you did say, listen, I'm listening to everything. I'm listening to everything that you said, and you said that you do pray that you can get like him. That you can vibrate. I heard you say that. So I'm like, okay, she's open to getting there. You're open to getting. I'm gonna pray for that too. This year is almost over, so for 2020, yes.
Are there any more Mercury retrogrades and shit? I'm starting to learn about all this. Is that all that over? Another one coming?
Oh, girl, all I know is December 31st is the last day in 2019 for this year, and I just pray as we go into 2020, you this might be a strong prayer, but my prayer is you never speak their name publicly. January of 2020.
Yeah, girl,
okay. We're on the same page. January of 2020, I will no longer speak their name publicly. This is great. Before we go, because you mentioned her name, have you talked to Princess Love during this week?
I have.
You have? Are you able to share anything?
I really don't know much. Again, just... when I reached out to Tiff, I don't know. Okay. I don't know what's going on. I didn't ask. She didn't volunteer. I don't know where she is.
Okay.
My only question was, are you and Melody okay? And I literally check every day. For the first couple days, there was a response. I haven't heard anything in a few days. So but I do see she's active on social media, so that's reassuring.
Okay.
So I don't know. You know, like I said, she didn't volunteer any information, and I don't pry. Like, when I reach out, it's literally just checking on someone's, and people think I'm crazy now because I'm like, oh, how are you feeling? They're like, about what? I'm like, just in general. I don't ask people how are you doing?
Right.
I literally stop now and ask people, like, I ran into Drea when I was trick-or-treating with my son, and I'm like, how are you feeling? And she's like, about what? Like, the baby's like X amount of years old now. I'm like, no, just in general. And she's like, oh, 'cause I thought you knew something that I didn't know. Like, are we expecting? I was like, no, I just ask people now how they're feeling.
Yes.
So I just know that she and Melody are safe, and like, her pregnancy is still intact as far as I know, so that's a blessing. Other than that, I don't know. I really don't.
Right. It's not a storyline for Love and Hip Hop because
we're done filming.
We've
already filmed the reunion, and again, that is one of the stigmas about reality TV that I hate.
Right.
Like, this is a husband, this is a wife who took vows before family, God, friends, an ordained union, and they're going through something. What really triggered it, we don't know. We see what is given to us.
Right.
And I hate that has to be the first question. I hate it. Like, I really do, and I hate it for us. That's when I'm like, that is where we are victims. Right. That's where
we don't know. We don't know what the charade is. We don't know whether if this is really happening or if this is a charade that to get us all involved in their business.
But again, even what people see on the show, some people do fake relationships. Like, my baby daddy sought Tiffany out season 5. I asked him. Once I got wind, and I didn't tell him where the wind blew in from, but, you know, is this what you're doing? I don't know what you're talking about. In my face, in my house. Like, you were literally going to ambush me as the mother of your child with a woman you know doesn't like me. And I'm still not very clear as to why she don't like me. I don't even really know where it started.
But that was a fake storyline.
Right. But you know what? Here, let me blow life into that real quick and try to make amends with her the first sit down we have. And then what do? You got to take it, you being the BD, you got to take it a step further. Well, I hope that this can be copacetic. Didn't we just say it was copacetic? Right. So that, you know, I can integrate her into Cameron's life. Now, see, that's where you get to playing with me. Don't use my son. Now, you want to talk about using the baby as a pawn. Don't use my son as a pawn to add validity to what we both know is not real here. Don't do that. Because now I don't know if this is the two of you. I don't know if you're putting her up to this. I don't know. But all I know is I'm just trying to get back good. So I can't even get in her head. I can't even have a conversation with Tiffany to find out, like, what is this? Like, is he doing it, or do you guys... Because come over here and get with the winning team, sis. You know, right. I didn't even have that opportunity because now we're back at each other's throats.
Right.
So we're real people. We go through real things, even behind conjured storylines.
Right. Right. But that's why as viewers sometimes we ask that question: is this really happening? Is this real? Is it just for television? Because we do unfortunately know that your pain is a paycheck. You know, you get paid for the pain that we see you go through.
So if y'all know that we get paid for the pain, why is it labeled anything other than that?
Well, because then it's like, so what happens is
I just understand this.
Okay, so I'll give you this. So the example with Ray J and Princess Love and what's happening with them being in Vegas, it's almost like we feel like are we being bamboozled to be emotionally connected and being on Princess side because this is a wife that's being cheated on by her husband or whatever the storyline is. Like you said, we don't really know that storyline, but the dynamic of what really occurred between them, or are they just doing it for the show? And I think as a viewer, you don't want to be emotionally invested in someone and really be arguing online and with your girlfriends or whomever if it's fake. You know?
Shouldn't want to do that even if it's real.
But this is why the show exists because, you know, the reason why these shows work is because people are emotionally invested in what's happening.
I understand.
You know, so it's like that's a part of it.
When is it too much? As a viewer, like, when do you guys actually, as viewers, say, like, all right, I might be tripping a little bit. Like, I don't know these people. Like, in real life. This is an edit in real life. Like, maybe, does that ever cross a viewer's mind? Like, because the other thing is, like, if you're going to be invested in someone, be invested in my growth, too. Because that is obvious. even when I go on an IG rant and whatever, it is apparent that I have evolved between seasons 1 and 6. So if you're really invested, invest. Invest in when I say December 16th I'm dropping Ill, the first single off my album, Honesty. Be invested when I say I was supposed to launch my clothing line, Plain Jane, spelled Plane, plain like fly. This is why, because it can be dressed up, down. You can go to the park with your kids, club with your girls, dinner with your man or woman or whoever, girlfriends, whatever. Be invested when I say that launch date has been pushed back because I'm independently funding multiple projects right now, knowing that my stream of income is over. I'm going to see my last paycheck in 5 weeks, right? Like, really be invested. Don't just be invested with the bullshit that hits a blog or the edit that I can't control on TV. Really be invested when I go live. If you're gonna invest, go, and your notification comes on that I'm live. Stop what you're doing then, and watch my real life, because I go live all the time. Watch each and every live all the way through. If you're going to invest, because if you do that, we don't even sit down and have this interview.
Right.
You would know why I said what I said. And I'm not even, this isn't even yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, if one is really invested, we don't sit down, we don't have interviews, you don't have any questions because you've invested the time to really hear what I am saying. Because you're very intelligent, and you're beautiful, by the way.
Oh,
very intelligent and beautiful African-American woman who knows the struggles of other African-American single moms, whether they are on television or not. You sit down and this is what you do for a living. So you know that there's more to it than what meets the eye.
Yeah, I know that.
Correct.
I know that, but I don't think everyone doesn't know that there's more to it.
They know.
Yeah.
But again, they either love you or they love to hate you.
Right.
So there's two sides of investing in my character that's not a character. I'm really crazy. I will really beat you up out here in the streets. I'm also very smart. I'm also very talented. I am very much a softie. I love my son to death, and I just want to feel heard and understood, right? But you have two different demographics. Those that read between the lines, and they're like, there's more to this.
Right.
Let me go to her page. Oh, she's live. Damn, I get what you're saying.
Right. Right.
And then the ones that love to hate you, oh, this bitch is live. Let me go. Let her know how I feel about her. Bitch, I can't believe you ain't jumped off a bridge yet, ho. Oh, where's your son? Oh, what kind of mother? It could be my week off with my son. But my real followers know. She'll tell you, oh, it's Cammy's coming home next week. Oh, 3 more days till Cam is back. Oh, my God. She's on her way to pick up her son. Stupid. Stop asking her about April and Fez. I'm like, damn, they're invested.
Right.
I asked the question yesterday. Can somebody tell me? Because I shouldn't have to repeat myself. When the podcast airs, somebody said March 4th. What is it called? Pussy Power. Who are my co-hosts? Allison Hicks, Tiffany at Miss Campbell is back, and you. Thank you. Those are the people that I do it for. Right. That's what brings me back down when I'm like, damn, okay. Then I get ample I can show you my DMs right now. I don't have blue checks in my DMs. I have single moms who've had suicidal thoughts. I have women who are trying to start businesses. I have women who are going through the same things with the father of their children. They just don't have the eyes of the world and the weight of the world on their shoulders. And we talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're like, I see you. I understand you. And it's the same over here, sis. And we don't want empathy and sympathy. We compare stories and we're like, damn, this is how I got through that. And these are strangers.
Right.
So when people are like, oh, why are you always live? That's why. And they're asking me, don't post this, please. This is I don't want the attention. I really want to know how you do it because I can't even do it and no one knows who I am.
Right. March 4th is a podcast, Pussy Power. I would be tuned in. I think this is gonna be great. And I want you to have those single moms that DM you and on your show and giving them that platform for you guys to grow in that way. Mm-hmm. The music you said sometime next year. You didn't give me a date on the music.
I haven't. I'm thinking of pushing. I was gonna drop the whole album on December 16th, but now I'm just gonna do a single. And now I am dropping Ill. That's the first one.
Okay, and that is the one that is about Fizz.
It's not about him.
Okay.
It's literally just literally my hook is I'm talking shit, talking about slapping a bitch, talking about taking my baby daddy's hoes and putting him on the pole. You know.
Okay, so it could be general. Is it true? Are you really still thinking about suing him for the video, the lotion
video?
video?
That was a petty moment.
Okay.
But let me tell you, my petty moment backfired on my ass. And, you know, now his streams have gone through the roof. So I did talk to Walter Mosley, amazing entertainment attorney. And I might just go for back pay. You know, because I'm just trying to say, no shade, but shade. You know, he was the background dancer. Singer, rapper, whatever he was in the group. So all I'm trying to say is that, you know, that video did what it did because contrary to what he believes, people would rather see us get along. And there are so many amazing things we could have done as co-parents. Look at Wiz and Amber Rose.
Right.
You know, he puts his, look at, what's the boy that I saw? Fuck. He was just all over the blogs. Oh, Bow Wow. Hype and Joya. You know what I'm saying? After she done had a whole baby by Future. Like, that's the type of co-parenting relationship that perpetuates your business. Because people are like, damn, that's dope. These are two problem-free reality stars. Like, damn, instead of feeding in and letting the system play them, they work the system. Mm-hmm. And they're not letting he's not letting the bullshit get in his head and cause him to disrespect, you know, her. And as a result, she wants to make his life as easy as possible. He's been spotted with this one and that one, and we saw them all out to look at them getting the kids together. That's what I want to see for my family. And he's a part of my family because we have a child together. And that's that's a concept that a lot of women don't get. This is not until our son is 18. Because once he turns 18, we got to pay for his housing for college. We got to, you know, he'll meet a woman one day.
Oh, no, you guys are
he'll put a ring on her finger.
Right.
You understand? These are the thoughts. This is what, and I thought about this before I decided to move forward with my pregnancy. And if a lot more women did this, we'd be in way better condition. Well, as a human race, like, think about what this means, ladies, when you get pregnant. Think about what it's going to mean to really be a mom, bro. Like, literally, this baby is going to turn 18, go to college. We have to talk about tuition. We have to talk about he's going to meet a woman. He's going to want to propose to that woman. Is he going to be in a state where he can afford the engagement ring because we have driven home to him that, you know, you graduate college first and as long as you're on the up and up, whatever you need, your parents are there? Do we pitch in for that? No? Okay, great. Well, then there's a wedding. There's a honeymoon. There's a reception. Groom's parents traditionally, they pay for that. Okay, great. Then she gets pregnant. There's a gender reveal. Right? There's a gender reveal. And then there's a baby shower. Now we have a grandchild. That grandchild has a first birthday. Like, this doesn't end.
It doesn't end, and you're right. Women should think about that before they have children together. But okay, so we're about to go, but just so because you were saying a lot, I think I missed it. So back pay, you're not gonna sue for the video.
Oh no. Oh no. You see me, I go on a tangent. I don't know. My bags deserved.
Oh, God.
Back pay, too. So I think I might, instead of charging him 3 day rates, because these each counted as a little person, I think I'll combine them into one full person. So I think I'll charge him, like, 2 day rates. Oh. But I am thinking about it. And I'm thinking about it just because, like, damn, like, all you do is dog me out. But if we really went back and looked at all the ways I helped you for the free 99, including not put you on papers when I could, you owe me, at the bare minimum, respect. But since you don't want to give me that, I might as well. Shit. I might as well start hitting you in your pockets where it hurts. That's the only thing you care about. Let me take you for every dime I can, where I can, when I feel like it. And then maybe you'll get to, I don't know, but maybe I won't feel like it. I might wake up tomorrow and not feel like it.
I hope you wake up tomorrow and not feel like it. That's my vote.
I mean, I don't have to go to court. That's what Walter's for. So, you know.
Well, listen, we had a great conversation. We talked for
hours.
Hour and 40 minutes. I feel like I definitely got to know you more. And I literally almost feel like I want to talk to you in 6 months to see where you're at. Yeah, let's talk in 6 months to see if we made some strides.
How about in 6 months you come to Pussy Power?
Okay, yeah. There you have it. Because we'll be there. 6 months, I'm going to be on Pussy Power. Mm-hmm. Oh no, Jesus! I'll be on the other end of the fence.
The other end,
I'm gonna do it.
And I'm gonna start keeping up with you.
Yeah, you
I followed you. I'm gonna turn on my notifications.
Yeah.
So 6 months from now, I can grill you about what I done seen.
Yeah.
And you know they say I'm crazy.
Okay,
so I did.
I'm ready for it, girl.
You gonna come and I'm gonna have a whole diaper file. Tiffany's gonna be like, leave her alone. I'm gonna be like, no co-host.
really good. I ain't sleeping with nobody.
You got a man?
I don't have a guy. So
Are you celibate?
I have been. I am at the moment. Are you
celibate at the moment?
I am. I have had sex in many years.
Many years?
Many years. I have a whole...
Girl, that thing is dry. Tiffany, she need a man. We're going to make Tiffany the love expert.
So as you find my
man, you speed dating, you gotta go speed dating. So how about that?
Okay. I'm in because I'm asking you to work on you. I gotta work on that area too. We're gonna do this together. Listen, I love you for coming here and being willing to have this conversation.
Am I surprised?
Yes, and you're surprised, Tiffany. And thank you, publicists who are products over here. Like, girl, if y'all in this interview, we are finally
Amy's gonna have to get used to it because we just started working together. So Amy's gonna have to get used to it because I'm long-winded, as they say. So don't ask me to do interviews if you ain't got all day.
There you have it. I love it.